And she says, the only reason you got me is because I was recently divorced, scared, and I had a kid. Can you sit down on the couch for a second? Sits down and said, we're done. We're getting a divorce. And she tried everything. She begged. All right, y'all. So do you side with a man or woman in the case I'm about to present here? Okay, I'm actually going to side with the man on it, but I'd like to hear what you have to say. So this man and this woman, husband and wife, they're having a party. They've been married for a couple years, and the guy's stepkid, her kid, you know, is there at the party. Everybody's having a good time or whatever, and he's giving relationship advice to some of their friends. And she comes over and says, don't take relationship advice from him. And he says, thinks she's playing around, and says, well, it got me you, didn't it? And he gives her a kiss or whatever, and she says, the only reason you got me is because I was recently divorced, scared, and I had a kid. And basically, he was a safe choice. And he goes silent, right? And I mean, I don't know. That would be so freaking devastating. Okay, but a couple days later, she realizes how silent and how affected he is, and she tries apologizing. He said, I'll be okay. And then like 2 weeks later, she's starting to get into panic because he will not talk to her. He won't do anything. She starts cooking his favorite foods, trying to do all the things that he likes, even goes so far as to have their kids go stay at her parents' house, or his stepkid and her kid go stay at the parents' house. And then she takes him somewhere that was important to them, and they go stay a couple nights there. And then when they come back, he goes to work for a couple days. He comes back. As soon as he walks in the door, he said, can you sit down on the couch for a second? Sits down and said, we're done. We're getting a divorce.
Rightfully so. You can't say that and then seriously expect him to get over it and act like everything is okay afterwards.
And she tried everything. She begged him not to go. She said, I love you now. I'm so sorry. Blah, blah, blah. I actually side with the guy on this, and I'm not trying to be mean. I understand everybody's situation would be different, but the fact of the matter is, and a lot of people are going to say, no, you work harder on a marriage. To me, that contract's null and void, because she did not love him when she got into the relationship. Okay, she saw safety. She was panicked after her recent divorce, being a stay-at-home mom with a single kid, so she latched onto the first guy she didn't even love because he had money and could provide safety, and that's what she did, and admitted that's what she did. And so when he found out, he's like, oh, you don't love me? I don't want you then. Do you agree with this guy?
This is messed up on so many levels. Imagine pouring yourself into a relationship, thinking that you're genuinely cherished and valued, only to find out you were basically the safety net, the fallback option for someone in distress. The husband's whole reality just crumbled. He believed he was chosen out of love, respect, and mutual admiration. But now he's left feeling like a tool, someone who was convenient rather than truly loved. This woman's comment stripped their marriage down to something transactional, a utilitarian move on her part to secure stability for herself and her child. That admission, especially in public, was nothing short of a slap in the face. No wonder he's shut down and can't look at her the same way. It's like finding out that every moment, every memory, was based on a half-truth she didn't even bother to keep hidden. And to make it worse, she tries patching things up with gestures that are far too little, too late. The favorite meals, the grand gestures, none of it can change the fact that she admitted he was only a safe choice during a desperate time in her life. At this point, it's not about the apology. It's about the foundation of their relationship, which has now been shattered. For him, this realization must be unbearable. The person he trusted the most essentially used him. Her words tainted everything, turning every kind word, every gesture of love, into something hollow. And while she might regret it now, it's not something that can be undone. Some revelations just hit so deeply that they change how you see a person, and clearly for him, this was one of those moments.
Would you cheat for $1,000?
No, man.
I mean, like, that's a lot of money.
Oh,
Come on.
I could, like, spend on, like, both. Like, we could use it.
You cheated on me, man.
We could
We've been
use
dating
it.
for over a
We
year.
could use it.
We've been dating for over a year.
We could use it, though.
It's not okay.
Like, I could take us out. You don't have to do it anymore.
Translation: I've been cheating on you for free this whole time. It would be crazy not to continue for $1,000.
She's caught. You're caught. Oh! Hey, you're getting posted. I will never trust bitches again. I swear to God. Go ahead. She's sick. Hey, I'm stuck in this car though. She gotta take me home, but damn, I would never trust bitches again. On Jesus Christ. Jumping. She still just been crying. Oh God. Hey, what's the move though? You good? Not good.
It's genuinely sad to see how normalized cheating by women has become in today's culture. What used to be universally condemned as a betrayal of trust has somehow turned into a topic for casual conversation, a plotline for empowered characters in shows, or even something to be laughed off on social media. This shift not only erodes the foundation of trust in relationships, but it also sends a damaging message about loyalty and respect in modern dating. There's this idea floating around that if a woman cheats, it's empowering or even necessary for her personal growth, as if a betrayal can somehow be justified if she's feeling unfulfilled. Meanwhile, the emotional fallout for the man is often dismissed or minimized, making it seem like his pain isn't as valid or important. Instead of working through issues together, or even having the decency to leave before being unfaithful, the betrayal is brushed off as a mistake, excused by society's new standards of freedom or self-discovery.
How to catch any woman cheating. This is the foolproof method to catch your girlfriend, your wife, whoever it is in the act. This is what you have to do. You have to randomly ask to check her phone. Don't actually check it. You don't have to check nothing. Just randomly. I'm talking about when things are going great, when you guys are at dinner, you guys are on a trip, or you guys just came back from a trip and everything is smooth. You can't do this when things are rocky. Do this when things are smooth. Ask to randomly check her phone. If she doesn't agree, that's your sign right there. You don't even have to check the phone. It's her response to you wanting to check her phone. If she's not willing to say, hey, baby, here's my phone. You're my boyfriend. You're my husband. Here it is. Do whatever you want to do. Look at whatever you want to look at. If she's hesitant to let you check her phone, she's cheating. That's all you got to know. Walk away.
And let's be honest, it isn't just about the act of cheating. Normalizing this behavior ultimately undercuts the value of commitment and the effort both partners put into a relationship. When cheating becomes just another oops, it teaches that relationships are disposable, that vows and promises are optional, and that accountability is a relic of the past. This mindset only sows distrust and insecurity, creating a society where people expect betrayal rather than loyalty, and where stability is rare. Relationships require work, respect, and honesty. We've reached a point where it's not even about expecting perfection. It's about valuing a shared commitment enough to stay loyal, even when things get tough. Normalizing cheating makes it nearly impossible for people to trust each other, and that's not a path to healthy, fulfilling relationships.
Okay. What I find men who forgive cheating, because it's so emasculating for them, they find it so emasculating, they start to resent themselves. They start to be angry because they don't have the strength to leave.
Interesting.
Usually what happens is they get so angry at themselves, they start thinking that they are less of a man. They start thinking if their friends knew, what would they think? And what happens is they have all this anger and resentment, and it comes out in the form of abuse towards a woman or towards them. So it will turn into controlling behavior. It will turn into insults. It will turn into, could be physical. Men don't know how to process emotions, so they process it physically. And so through anger is really the deep root of anger is probably some form of depression. So it does something to them that's not good for them. For women, we have so much social support when we've been cheated on. We can talk to a friend who's been through the same thing. We can talk to our mom. Whereas a man starts to think, I'm not a man if she's done this.
Forgiving cheating can be a slippery slope for men. When a man forgives a partner who has been unfaithful, it often leads to a spiral of resentment, mistrust, and ultimately, a damaged self-worth. Cheating strikes at the heart of a man's identity, his confidence, and his sense of security in the relationship. To forgive it too easily can feel like he's accepting a betrayal, tolerating disrespect, and ultimately compromising his own standards and dignity.
You know, we all know that men cheat. We've heard it dozens of times, but we normally don't ever get a chance to hear a man forgiving his wife for infidelity. So Keith,
Yes.
I'm gonna jump right in. What made you forgive her?
The main thing that made me forgive was really just like I always saw my parents go through different things growing up, but I also had the opportunity to see them work through it. And so seeing that, okay, yeah, it may not be the same as somebody just having an everyday argument or anything like that, but recognizing that this is the person that I said my vows to, that we made this covenant not only between ourselves, but with God. This is somebody that I already said I'll be willing to work through things for better or for worse.
Yes.
And this is just one of those things that falls into the worst category, but we made these vows. I want to try and work this out. And so I had to make that decision with God. And then also too, like,
In many cases, forgiveness might sound like the mature choice, but if we're being real, it can also be deeply emasculating. It sends the message that cheating is somehow negotiable or excusable, and it weakens the boundaries of respect in the relationship. It's hard to regain control or restore balance after trust has been shattered like that. Women might come back with remorseful words, grand apologies, and promises to change, but that doesn't erase what happened or prevent future toxicity. In fact, forgiveness in these situations can even encourage more toxic behavior down the line. When someone crosses such a serious line and sees that they can get away with it, they might start pushing other boundaries, knowing there's a good chance they'll get a second or third pass. That betrayal ends up becoming a wedge that can reappear in arguments, stirring up insecurities, and honestly, a lot of bitterness. Standing firm and refusing to forgive can actually be empowering. It sends a clear message about self-respect, dignity, and what a man is willing to accept in his life. Not all wrongs are meant to be forgiven, especially when they cut to the core of a man's trust and self-respect. Sometimes, the healthiest move is to walk away for good and avoid the slow, painful process of trying to rebuild something that's already been irreparably broken. Here's my take. He's justified. Marriage, at its core, relies on honesty and genuine emotional commitment. Admitting that she got into the relationship mainly for safety and support, rather than love, shows that she compromised on sincerity. While some might argue that marriages need hard work and forgiveness, this isn't just an "oops, I messed up" situation. Her admission strikes right at the heart of what marriage is supposed to be. In this case, it's about self-respect and not wanting to stay in a relationship built on convenience over love. He deserves the freedom to find someone who truly wants to be with him for him. And that's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that notification bell. Support this channel through membership. You can also support through PayPal, link in the description. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.